Hello friends. So we will start with the industrial AC machines. So the contents of first unit, that is three-phase induction motor, are: the first is working principle. So in this will study production of rotating magnetic field, that is RMF. After that, synchronous speed of rotating magnetic field, then rotor speed, slip, constructional detail of three-phase induction motor. In this, we will study squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motor. After that, the third point is about rotor quantities, frequency induced EMF in a rotor, power factor of rotor circuit at starting and running condition. The fourth point is characteristics of torque versus slip, that is speed, torque versus speed characteristic. Then we will study various types of torques, that is starting torque, full load torque, and maximum torque. And after that, we will see the relation between starting torque, full load torque, and maximum torque. The next point is induction motor as a generalized transformer with phasor diagram. After that, four quadrant operation and power flow diagram of induction motor. Then the seventh point is about starters required for starting three-phase induction motor. Then what is the need of starter? What are the types of starter? So in this, stator resistance, auto transformer starter, star delta starter, rotor resistance starter, and the last is soft starters. The next point is speed control methods for the motor. Then the first is stator voltage method. So by changing stator voltage, we can control the speed. Then pole changing method. After that, rotor resistance control method. So this is for slip ring motor. And after that, variable voltage, variable frequency. The next point is motor selection for different applications as per the load torque speed requirement. That is how to choose a particular motor for the given application. And the last point is maintenance of three-phase induction motors. So let us start with the types of motors. So these are the so this is the classification of motors. So basically, what is electric motor? So the function of electric motor is, it converts electrical energy into mechanical energy, and the principle is when a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field. So according to the supply given to the motor, so the motor which operates on DC supply, it is called DC motor. Then DC motors are classified into two types. Number one is brushless, and number two is brushed DC motors. So in brushless DC motor, uh, there is no use of brushes, and in brushed DC motor there is brush commutator arrangement. Again, brushed DC motors are classified into four types. The first is series wound, second is shunt wound, after that compound wound and permanent magnet. Again, compound wound are classified into two types, that is long shunt, short shunt. Now the main point is AC motors. AC motors are classified into two types, synchronous and induction. So synchronous means what? The motor which runs at synchronous speed, and induction motor is also called as asynchronous motor. Asynchronous means what? The motor which not runs at synchronous speed, that is the speed of the rotor is less than synchronous speed, so therefore it is also called as asynchronous motor. Again, induction motors are classified into two types. If the single phase supply is required, then it is called as single phase induction motor, and if three phase supply is required, then it is called as three phase induction motor. Again, three phase induction motors are classified into two types. One is squirrel cage, and and second is slip ring. Slip ring or slip ring or phase wound motors. Now, let us start with the basics of three-phase induction motor. So, three-phase induction motor is the most popular type of AC motor, and it is very commonly used for industrial drives since it is cheap, robust, efficient, and reliable. So, these are the features of a three-phase induction motor. It has good speed regulation and high starting torque. It requires little maintenance and it has a reasonable overload capacity. So this is the picture of three-phase squirrel cage induction motor. So this part is called as stator and this part is called as rotor. The three-phase induction machine was invented by a scientist Nikola Tesla in 1888. So right from its inspection, its ease of manufacture and its robustness have made it very strong candidate for electromechanical energy conversion. It is available from fractional horsepower rating to megawatt levels. It finds very wide usage in all various application areas. The induction machine is an AC electromechanical energy conversion device. Now, AC electromechanical means what? When AC power is given to the machine, mechanical energy is produced. The machine has two connections, or we can say two ports. One is mechanical and one is electrical. So basically, it converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So mechanical energy or the mechanical power is available at rotating shaft, and the electrical power is given to the port or terminals, that is AC supply. Okay, so basically we have one input, one output. Input is electrical energy, output is mechanical energy. So there are machines available to operate from three phase or single phase electrical input. So basically, if single phase is given, it is called as single phase motors, and if the three phase is given, then it is called as three phase motors. So basically, the this is the first type of motor. It is squirrel cage motor. So when we use squirrel cage rotor, so this is the type of squirrel cage rotor, and the motor is called as squirrel cage induction motor. This is the second picture of squirrel cage rotor. This is bearing and this is shaft, and this is the stator. So stator, to which three phase AC supply is given through terminal box. This is the second type of motor, that is slip ring induction motor. So this is the rotor which is used in slip ring induction motor. It is called as phase wound rotor, and these are the slip rings.